Hey guys, it's Jen with JCT Rustic Homestead, and I wanted to give you a little lead into the following clips. Today is Monday, April 20th. So we're running a little over 4 weeks, I think, that we've been doing this stay in place thing. But today I wanted to give you an update on the crops that had to go through the rain and snow and sleet and actually some ice that froze on them. But yesterday I started doing something and I was pretty excited about it, so I had to grab the camera and kind of bring you along. So that's my introduction to the following clips. I'll show them and it'll kind of ruin the suspense of if the cold crops made it, but we're going to also see how much they've grown since then, and we'll look at the lettuce that I talk about in the next section. Hopefully you can hear me over the wind. And hopefully I'm not cutting my head off in this shot. But I had every intention of not doing anything today. I wanted to take today off. It's Sunday. And then one thing led to another, and here I am. But I wanted to show you what I'm doing. I planted my broccoli a couple weeks ago, and it's been doing well. The snow and ice and stuff, they're looking a little scary. I may have lost a couple plants. Peas are looking kind of scary, but we'll see if they rebound. But I decided that the lettuce could act as kind of a ground cover for the broccoli while the broccoli is growing. Broccoli will get like this tall. I had no idea it got that tall until we grew it. But I have all this extra space in between the plants right now, and it'll take a while for it to actually get that height. So instead of wasting garden space, I needed space for the lettuce. I also needed the rest of the garden for other plants. I'm almost running out of garden space again. And I hate weeding. I hate it. We have crabgrass. It grows through rhizomes. It crops up everywhere. We have creeping Charlie. You can't get rid of it, either of them. And so I don't know that this will work as a weed suppressant, but I'm going to see how it works, and it's also giving me space for the lettuce. So I'm going to take you in and show you what I did. It is windy, so hopefully I'm not muffled out by the wind or blowing your ears out with wind. But this is one of my lettuce flats, and I think I've talked about them before. But I had 3 of these minus a few holes because I planted them in a couple different containers trying to use up space and stuff. But this is the broccoli, and I have shown that to you before. That's my chicken fence. And there are some scary plants, like this was kind of frosted. But I'm thinking that if I just leave them alone, the centers are still good on a lot of them. And I'm just going to see what happens. I'm not going to mess with them. But this is lettuce. So I have broccoli, and lettuce. And my original plan was just to do like one row of lettuce, and another row of lettuce over here. Well, apparently I had more lettuce than I realized, so I put them maybe 4 inches apart, like a hand width in a square, and then here I put one kind of on the diagonal center. And it should be enough room for them. We'll just have to see. The transplant, I need to get them watered. They're going through a little bit of transplant shock. This one's getting a little wilty. But I'm pretty sure they'll be okay. Did I harden them off? Yes and no. I've been putting them outside every day, so they're used to the wind and the sun and stuff. They just were inside during all of the snow and ice. But they have not spent an outside overnight. Or a night outside over, I don't know. I can't think anymore. But here's another variety of lettuce. I just did 3 rows, about 4 inches on center. 4, maybe 5. And we're going to see how it goes. I ended up leaving this center space for a walkway to harvest. So I can fit in here. And then I'll put the lettuce on the other side. I tried planting onions. My onion starts because I needed them out of the way. And I don't know if they'll make it. They're looking pretty sad. I was pretty fed up with them anyway. So if they die, oh well. I'm going to put my other lettuce probably in this area because I didn't get many onions down here, I don't think. I'm not sure. And then I got mad about the onions, so I got a bag of like 100 onion sets. They're only like that big. A trio of onions and about 100 count, and I put them in here. I've never done onion sets before. I did some from seed with mediocre results, but we'll see how the onion sets work. They're pretty slick. I do need to water everything. So I'm interested to know if anybody else has tried intercropping lettuce with broccoli. I've seen other things with it, but I've never done it myself. So we'll see what happens. And that, my friends, is some decent looking lettuce, if I do say so myself. Hopefully it survives. So yeah, I was a little excited about intercropping the lettuce with the broccoli. I don't know why, but you can do it for several reasons. Weed suppression is one. Time stacking, they also call it, where you're taking a crop that takes longer to mature and adding a shorter maturity crop. It's also, if you start something as it's growing, you can start a smaller plant to kind of catch up after you harvest. And I'm sure there's some other things that I can't think of. Companion planting, especially if you're trying to do something to help deter pests. But there's some other theories behind it, I'm sure, but I'm just trying to use up garden space. I don't like wasting the space. I don't like weeding. So we'll see how this works for us. Now you can kind of see that these peas are pretty damaged from the snow and sleet and stuff, or at least I can. Maybe you can't with the way the light is. But for the most part, they're not too bad. I did clip off some pieces that were just way beyond their ability to rejuvenate, but I'm thinking that they will sprout back through that clip off point. We'll just have to see. Some of them are doing better than others. I think these were the little marvel peas, and they almost look a little more damaged, but they were also on the outside, well, not the outside, but they were on the edge of my cover, so they probably received more direct contact with the snow and the ice on top of the cover. So this is the broccoli and lettuce, and you can see here I definitely lost this little guy. And I'm thinking that when it snowed, it melted, and then it created a puddle on top of that cover, but then it turned to ice, and that's what made this freeze. So because this was a low spot compared to this plant, which was on a high spot. This one is damaged. You can see that there, but it's got some new growth kind of in the center. So I'm thinking that once this new growth starts coming up, we'll be okay. Some of the plants I'm still waiting to see on if they will survive or not. The lettuce I transplanted yesterday, it survived its first night outside, and there was some frost on the ground, but so far it looks okay. I watered it in yesterday, and it's actually kind of perky. I'm thinking that it needed the room and the soil change, because those plugs were dry because I've been overwatering some things, so I hadn't dried them or watered them as often. But I think having the extra room and root space, they're gonna do really well in here. Now I want to show you something I found pretty interesting. These are the radishes I transplanted a while ago, and those are also some strawberries I transplanted a while ago, if you watch those videos. These I did not cover at all. I let Mother Nature take its course. I didn't have the extra material to cover them, and they are absolutely fine. They went through the rain, the snow, the ice, everything, and they are absolutely fine. I'm pretty impressed, because I thought they would freeze out. But what I'm finding is plants, not just cold crops, but plants in general, they want to live. so they'll try their best to continue surviving. But this is also in a shady place, in case you didn't notice, and it doesn't get a ton of sun. It doesn't get eastern sun, it doesn't get western sun. The only sun exposure it really gets is from the south, when it's maybe 10 to 3 o'clock at the most. But these plants, even though they went through all of that, it is a raised bed, it is all compost, so it's really loose soil, so it drained really well, but they look amazing. So M.I. Gardner did a post about how, or a video about how people were ridiculing him for being so concerned with closing grocery centers, but he said you can plant these crops, and he demonstrated them that were currently growing in his garden in Michigan, and he planted more. So Luke, if for some reason you see this, these plants survived our snow and ice and 20-degree temperatures without any cover, and you can add this to your battalion of ammunition for those that are naysayers. They may not look like the best radishes, but hey, they're still alive. And what I find interesting is that they even look better than the broccoli and peas that were actually covered. So if you have a theory as to why that worked, let me know in the comments, because I want to know why. Alright guys, that's it for me today. Hopefully a little shorter and to the point for you, but I do want to give you a heads up on a couple things. One, please subscribe, it really helps our channel. We're getting more subscriptions, which is exciting, but the more you subscribe, like, comment, and share, the more our channel will show up in search results. Another thing, I always ask for ideas or suggestions on how to improve our channel, our website, any of our products, as well as what do you want to see, what content do you want to see, what information do you want to see. Along with that, I want to tell you what I think I have on the plan for tomorrow, Tuesday, April 21st, and Wednesday, April 22nd. Tomorrow I'm going to touch on some pitfalls in the electronic world, such as spammers and scammers and spammers. Try saying that 10 times fast. But Colton and I almost purchased something that could have cost us, and it's just because of my history with computers and internet that I started looking deeper and realizing it was probably a scam. And I know other people have fallen prey to scams before, and farmers like to focus on the field. They don't always like to focus on the computer, and some of them don't even know how to turn one on. But technology is becoming more and more a part of our lives. And if you're a direct-to-consumer, you're doing newsletters, you're doing a website, you're doing coffee burps, Facebook ads, your Facebook page. So I want to give a little bit of awareness for things that you can look for to make sure that you don't fall victim to scammers and spammers. And then Wednesday, I thought I would do a Why Wednesday. I have a question on why something is the way it is, so I thought I'd tie that into the W day of the week for a Why Wednesday, and I hope you'll stay tuned for that. So, once again, please consider subscribing, telling us what you want to see, and be sure that you check in Tuesday and Wednesday. Hopefully I'll get those videos uploaded in a timely manner and not 9 o'clock at night, because I'm hoping that by getting this video done early today, I can video more and edit today and then have them ready for you Tuesday and Wednesday, but we'll see. So check us out at jctrustichomestead.com or our Facebook page. Stay in touch, and I hope everybody's staying healthy. We'll see you tomorrow.